If you're watching this video, you're probably wondering how Numeris knows what Canadians are watching on their television or video devices. More specifically, you're wondering how video measurement works. Well, let's find out. Let's start at the beginning with our panels. We can't possibly measure what every single Canadian consumes in terms of video, so what we do instead is use panels which are subsets of the Canadian population. To create our panels, we first group the entire population by specific demographic criteria and the technology they use when accessing video content. Next, we randomly select and contact households that represent these criteria, asking them to track their television or online viewing. If they agree, they get assigned to one of our video panels, our television panel, which tracks television viewing, or our online panel, which tracks online viewing. We call the people that belong to our panel households panelists. What we end up with is viewing from the two panels. In order for us to get total video viewing, we need to combine both the television panel viewing and the online panel viewing. And that is what we call VAM, or Video Audience Measurement. We all know there are more options than ever before for people to watch television or video content. What VAM does is reflect all the ways video content is consumed as Canadians go about their day. They can watch on their tablet while having breakfast, then on their mobile device as they commute to work or school, catch up on a buzzworthy show at lunchtime on their laptop, and wind down at the end of a long day with their favorite show on television. So how does all of this happen? Let's dive into how VAM works. We'll start with the first of our two panels, the television panel, and go through how we capture what video content Canadians watch on television. This is what we call television audience measurement, or more commonly in the world of market research, TAM. As mentioned previously, we randomly call homes all across Canada to ask them some basic questions to validate if they meet the criteria we've already established that we need for our television panel to accurately represent the population. If they do, we ask them if they want to join our television panel to track each household member's TV viewing. In order to participate, all people who live in the home must be willing to track their television viewing for us. That includes parents, children, grandparents, extended family, or even roommates. Once they agree to participate, they join our television panel and become official Numeris panelists. As panelists, each person in the household is sent a device called a PPM or portable people meter. Each panelist will carry their own meter with them all day and wherever they go, as we need to measure how and when each panelist is watching television inside and outside their home. And no, the pet doesn't get a PPM. Whether watching TV alone or together as a family, each panelist's television consumption will be captured by their individual PPM. But how does the PPM know that a panelist is watching television content? Television stations insert a code into the audio of their programs. While you and I can't hear the code, the PPM can and will therefore record the consumption to the proper program, station, and time. And because each panelist PPM contains a description of its owner, that specific TV consumption is allocated to the proper individual. For example, if both parents are watching TV in the living room on a Monday night, each of their individual PPMs will record that viewing and send that code back to us at Numeris. The code can be heard and captured by the PPM no matter how you watch the program, so even if you're not watching a live television program on a TV set but instead are streaming it live on a computer, the PPM will hear it. For example, if the teenager of the household is in their bedroom live streaming a different TV program than their parents, the PPM will capture the code and will be sent back to Numeris. Not only does the PPM capture what panelists are watching at home, but it also captures if they are watching television content elsewhere. Watching the big game at the restaurant with friends? If the PPM hears that code outside the panelist's home, it will record the viewing and send it back to Numeris. Numeris gets the codes that each PPM hears from all of the members of our television panel households, all across the country. And that, in a nutshell, is how Numeris measures television consumption. But, as we talked earlier, VAM is a combination of both the television panel and the online panel. So now let's focus on the online panel. While the TV panel helps us understand what Canadians are watching on television, the online panel helps us understand what Canadians are watching online. This is what we call digital video measurement. We recruit for our online panel using similar methods that we use for our television panel. Currently, the online panel is made up of people across Ontario and Quebec, but will expand to all of Canada soon. Again, as with our television panel, we randomly call homes across Ontario and Quebec and ask them some basic household questions. If they meet the criteria we've already established that we need for our online panel to accurately represent the population, we ask them if they want to join our panel to measure their online viewing. Now that a household is part of our online panel, we can begin the process of capturing digital viewing for each member of the household. We send the household a device called a focal meter and ask them to install it in their home. The focal meter is very easy to install. All that's required is for it to be plugged into the home's Wi-Fi router. Once installed, the focal meter captures only the viewing to specific pre-selected and agreed upon video platforms. All panelists agree to the content and platforms captured by the focal meter, and only that viewing will be captured and sent back to Numeris. Online viewing of any agreed upon content is then captured through any device that is used in any room of the home. For example, if Dad is catching up on his favorite series on a broadcaster smart TV app, and at the same time one of the kids is watching a video on his computer in his room, the focal meter would capture it and send it back to Numeris. On the other hand, if for example Mom is checking her bank account balance on her mobile device because banking activities are not agreed upon content, the focal meter will not capture this activity and nothing will be sent back to Numeris. One of the main benefits of the focal meter is that we can selectively tell it what to track. Our list does not include banking or personal message websites or applications. Remember, we're only interested in the viewing to video content from agreed upon websites. If it's not on our agreed upon list, it won't be tracked. We already talked about how people can consume digital video throughout their day wherever they go, so if a member of our online panel is outside of their home, for example commuting to work, and views video content that has been tagged specifically for Numeris, it will be captured and sent to us. And that is how we captured the digital viewing for our online panel. We now have viewing for both our TV panel and our online panel. The next step is to combine and fuse the viewing for both our panels to make one big video panel. And that is how we get Total Video Cross-Platform Unduplicated Audiences, or VAM.